Hey there, Not. It's Cosmo here again. So I know I recently uploaded a Heimerdinger video, but I was playing him for a couple games and I found a pretty strong rune set along with a good item build. So here I'm just showing you quickly what his abilities do. His first ability is the turret, the second is the rocket, the third ability is the stun grenade, and then of course his ultimate upgrades his next following ability. So here I'm actually versus a Corki mid. I'm not sure if it's the enemy Corki or the enemy Nunu, but one of them is a Grandmaster. So here, I'm not sure if you watched my previous video, but the best counter that I've seen to Heimerdinger is a good range champion. Most likely an 80 carry. They're usually good counter picks to the Heimerdinger. So right here, I see the Nunu's starting on the blue side. We had that aggressive ward by the Vi, my jungler. So I keep that in mind, but here, I'm mostly just trying to farm. I'm not really looking for a fight because Corki does pretty good early damage. He's a strong early game champion. And here again, I'm just trying to proc my arcane comet as well as poke. And then here, of course, I try to push for the hex tech toolkit and managed to do a lot of damage to him. Now here I see the Nunu coming, and I'm not sure if you were to catch that, but I placed one of my turrets to actually frontline the Nunu snowball. So the Heimerdinger's turret actually counts as an entity, meaning you can use it to block the Nunu or even block skill shots like the Corki ultimate. You know how he shoots that little rocket? Yeah, you can technically defend yourself with the turrets. So on my first back, I get the Boots of Mana. Pretty standard procedure. You really don't have mana problems with the Heimerdinger. I've seen a couple people get the mana flow ban, but you really don't need it, especially because you're mostly playing around your turrets, and occasionally, every so often, you throw one or two abilities to the enemy. But you don't have mana problems as Heimerdinger. Here again, all I'm trying to do is just proc my arcane comet. I'm not sure if you got a chance to see my Teemo video either, or you just haven't gotten to it, but arcane comet is really broken. It's such a late game ruin that just the damage that it outputs, it's crazy. It's really strong. So here, I fight an all-in, and then most Heimerdingers like to get ignite. However, like I said, I like to play safe when I'm playing Heimerdinger, so I get barrier. And the whole reason I won that fight with Nunu after killing the Corki was because I had the barrier. You don't need ignite because you already do a lot of damage, and it's you put yourself in a sticky situation, because whenever think about it, if you get ignite, you're bound to kill the enemy champion and you get bounties, right? So if you get barrier instead of ignite, if you get a kill, that's cool, but if you're about to die, you pop the barrier and you get some extra shields. So here I get Lost Chapter and Blasting Wand. So for this specific build, I rushed full damage, full AP items. My first item that I build here is actually the components to Luden's Echo. Why Luden's Echo? It gives you a lot of burst damage, and I've noticed, especially if you land a full combo like I did right there with the Corki, you saw how he just all-in me. If you land a good combo alongside your turrets, you will do so much damage. Now here, a cool little trick is whenever you see the turret start shooting at the cannon, place one of your turrets so that you do additional damage. Your turrets actually hit the enemy turret, and if I'm not mistaken, once they're fully upgraded, I believe they tank like 2 shots, maybe 3. So it's pretty annoying. So here again, I rushed Luden's Echo. Luden's Echo is really good into champions that can burst, right? So here, my initial thought process was Heimerdinger's rockets. I've been experimenting with all of his upgraded abilities, and his rockets do decent damage, to be honest. Unfortunately, my Jace is dying to the enemy Heimerdinger, but that's fine. Just worry about my lane. That's what you should honestly do every time. Just worry about your own lane. Don't stress about another teammate's lane. Just start stressing if they start feeding your lane. So here, all I'm trying to do is provide that poke. Just poke the enemy mid laner so I can keep pushing for those turret plating. Another really broken thing on Heimerdinger is his wave clear it's just too good. Here I do the same little trick. When I see the enemy turret target my cannon minion, I put one of my turrets down and I do an additional like 300 damage, I think, or 200, somewhere around there. Again, and here, look at that. Corki just came back to lane, and I just have, technically speaking, 1 item in boots. So it does a lot of damage. We managed to secure the Drake here, and I see the Vi trying to make a play, so I follow up. Now, I want you to notice something important here. Notice how instead of running away, I actually play around my ultimate turret and the other turret I placed. With Heimerdinger, honestly, the first thing you need to practice on Heimerdinger is not to be a scary cat. Heimerdinger does a lot of damage, so as long as you play with your turrets, you'll be fine. So here the enemy Zyra, their support tried to gank me, but I managed to sidestep the root. Now here, as mentioned before, I'm rushing just a straight up full ability power. No defenses of any kind. I try to make a play here, and again, the enemy Heimerdinger has Ignite, and I have Barrier, which allows me to tank like 200 extra hit points there, which I most likely would have died, to be honest. If it wasn't for Barrier there, I'm either close to dying or I die there for sure. And that's what I'm saying. Heimerdinger does a lot of damage already, so you don't really need Ignite. There's no need for it. You as long as you play it safe and you play with your turrets, you're bound to win. Also here, I'm not sure if it's a glitch or something, but my turret, as you see the one right there that's getting destroyed, it deactivated completely. Not sure why. So here, I rush Rabadon's death cap because it increases my ability power, right? The higher level I am, the more stronger the passive of Rabadon's death cap. And then right there, I'm not sure if you were to catch that, but I only used 2 abilities and I did 1/4 of his health, and then again, he's half health basically. And somehow, I'm not sure how, but I managed to dodge the Zyra root again. And then here, I tried to snipe the Corki with my missiles, my upgraded missiles, and I missed miserably. I've noticed that I underestimate the range of the actual missiles. So Yeah, that's something I need to work on. Okay, so here I get the Prophet's Pendant just because it actually gives you 12 magic penetration. Magic penetration just means your abilities will do more damage even if they have magic resist. So it's always good to have magic penetration. So here I noticed the Nunu, and I was curious to why he had a crown actually, and then I'll show it in a little bit. He's actually going AP Nunu. AP Nunu is pretty good into Heimerdinger because Nunu has his Chomp ability, which I believe it does 900 damage, so it one shots my turrets. So here, I see that my team is losing on the bottom side of the map, so I try to put pressure on the opposing side of the map and try to get the scuttler slash scorpion thingy majiggy. I've always said this, that scorpion slash scuttle crab thing, it's really broken. It does a lot of damage and it tanks a lot of damage. Here, we're trying to make a play. Not sure what's going on exactly, but dragon's coming up, so I'm starting to prepare for that. But we get engaged here, and luckily we pick off the Zyro, and I see the Teemo. I'm most certainly that he was gunning for me, not my 80 carry. So thank God I was able to dodge that. So something really cool here. I'm not sure if you can see, but Heimerdinger can solo the dragon across the wall. That's pretty unfair, I would say. But it's the enemy jungler ends up stealing it, which is fine. We have one dragon, so it's not the end of the world. I get a blasting one, and so here I actually messed up. I was actually trying to build for the Oblivion Orb, but I saw that I bought the Haunting Gaze, which built into the Leandries, and that wasn't my original plan. I wanted to get the Oblivion Orb because I personally think it's a lot better when it comes to one-shotting someone, and I think that's Heimerdinger has that potential. He can one-shot. For example, right here, full health enemy, I one-shot the Heimerdinger, the Corki, and then this is his point of view basically, right? There he is, he's farming, and then there's no vision, and he goes toward it, and I did 2,000 damage to him in less than what, like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And you'll see more of it, but the reason you do a lot of damage, it's because of his turret. The Heimerdinger's turret has that little passive where it shoots that blue laser that you saw right there. Yeah, that blue laser does a lot of damage, and it can one shot, especially when you have the arcane comet. Now here the enemy Heimerdinger, I'm able to catch him, but he ends up flashing away, so that's fine. I take the flash and I proceed to go to a safe space to recall. But yeah, Heimerdinger has the potential to one-shot, so be careful for that if you're against him. Make sure you have wards so that you don't run into what that Corki just went into. Here I get the Leandries. So the Leandries is pretty strong into Teemo. Reason being is his turrets. Whenever his turrets auto something, it actually applies the Leandries. So it's an additional burn. And right here, so I'm trying to set up to do another one shot like I did the Corki, but my Vi ends up running away from me. Not sure why. And honestly, I'm not sure why you can't see their health, but the Zyra is really low here. And I throw my rockets, and she ends up dying to my Arcane Comet. So my Arcane Comet is, it's been stacked. Here, the team was trying to kill me. I end up having to flash away. and my AD carry picks up the kill. So yeah, Arcane Comet on Heimerdinger, it does a lot of damage. So this is what I wanted to buy, the Infinity Orb. Reason being is abilities and empowered attacks critically strike for 20% bonus damage against enemies below 35 health. Pair that with the 15 magic penetration. So you critically strike with ability power. Basically, it's basically what it's saying. So my theory was, well, if I use my rockets, my upgraded rockets, right? So I press my ultimate and then my rockets, I'm pretty sure I can one-shot somebody. And that was my original intent with the build. And, well, you'll see right here. Right there. Teemo died not even to my full rocket upgrades. So, the rockets are pretty good into the squishies. However, it's not ideal, I've noticed. It's better if you upgrade your stun or your turret. Reason being is the stun, well, it's AoE. It's an AoE stun. If you're able to land it, it's an AoE stun. And your turret just does a lot of damage. So here, I'm trying to set up that sneaky little bush one shot. Notice how I'm standing just outside the radius of my other turret. And then here, I did the same thing I did to Corky. I did it to him again. We can look at it from his point of view. So there's Corky. He has 2,100 health. And he has 2 MR items. And he still gets one shot. Yeah, so Heimerdinger is pretty broken, I think. Here, I try to tell my jungler, like, hey, dragon, and that's what I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to finish it as fast as I can. Here's something you should not do as a jungler, right? You should not chase kills. Right, your job as a jungler is to focus on the objective. Let your team do the damage to the enemy champions, because as you saw there, my Vi had smite, but she saw a low Teemo and decided to ult the Teemo and smite the Teemo, when she could have just focused on the dragon and gotten the dragon. But again, this is PvP. It's not ranked, so it's okay. It's not a big deal. So again, here I'm doing the same strat again. I'm hiding in a bush. I put 2 turrets down, and we almost killed the Zyra. I'm sorry. And then here I see that the Corky was trying to kill me, but then he tries to collapse on my Jace. So I hit the Corky with my upgraded rockets, and as you saw, I finished him off. And here again, notice how I'm placing my turret. And then I actually killed the Zyra right here again, because of the Leandries and the Infinity Orb. So because the Leandries is continuously burning the enemy champion, the Oblivion Orb can actually trigger, and well, it does more damage than you would think. It counts as an execute, like the like that item for the 80 carries, the collector. Now here, Riftmaker. I cannot stress this enough. Riftmaker is so good on Heimerdinger. Reason being is you do true damage after like 3 stacks, which is like 2 seconds in combat. You start to deal true damage, and you start to heal that damage as well. So one thing you'll know when you play Heimerdinger is you are really squishy. So the fact that you can actually heal, it's really beneficial, so that you don't get one shot so quickly. Here we start doing the Elder. My jungler is not here, so I actually barely steal the Elder Dragon with my upgraded rockets. And that's what I'm saying. So the rockets do a lot of burst damage, but it's only single target burst damage. And ideally, when you play Heimerdinger, you want to do, you know, AoE damage, like your upgraded stun or your upgraded turret. And then we'll here again, I'm showing you how strong Infinity Orbs actually is with Heimerdinger. And we actually end up ending the game right here. Notice, you saw what the enemy Heimerdinger did. He did his ultimate stun, and he got all of us, and he actually put us pretty low. So if he had enough damage, or if his team was there, we probably would have died and not end the game there. But here is the items that I went. Notice again the goal difference. That's a pretty significant goal difference. And then here's the Arcane Comet. So 3,000 on Arcane Comet. Also, Futures Market. I'm not sure why people don't like Futures Market. It's basically bonus gold that you get to get items to get stronger. But that's the enemy Heimerdinger's Arcane Comet damage.